Episode 42 of The Early Crow is brought to you by Makita. Right now, get amazing bonuses with selected Makita XGT 40V and 80V max kits and combos. Limited time only. Visit makita.com.au for details. Makita XGT. More intelligent, more efficient, more power, more Makita. G'day, welcome. Early Crow, episode 42. We're back after a week layoff, and it was enforced. It was a massive, an enormous week for the boys. I think on behalf of the entire Early Crow family, we're very, very, very grateful and happy that P-Rat and Michelle were able to deliver a big, thick, strong boy to the Crow family. I don't know if we're announcing names or not.
Yeah.
But from the bottom of my heart, I don't know who come up with it. Couldn't have been a stronger name, in my opinion. Do you want to announce to the Crow family the name of your thick, big boy?
Thick, big boy. Fuck, it came out with a little bit of a piece on it. I'm thinking it can't be mine. But anyway, it's Archie Colin Pratt, mate. So Colin's Michelle's grandpa's name. He's still alive, so thought that was pretty nice considering it takes my last name. And then Michelle was like, what do you think of the name Archie? I said, let's do it. Sounds great. So
Archie, a ripper, and Colin's scary. Colin's actually what Emma calls me if I've had too much to drink.
We haven't registered his birth yet, actually. Fuck, that's something I need to do. So
that could be good long term.
I think we might be changing his middle name. But nah, it's...
Uncle Colin will take you to the races. Come on.
It's been a big week. He was born literally, as we record this, fucking exactly a week ago. So definite... I think anybody who's been through a pregnancy and a labour with your missus in hospital, I don't think they get paid enough respect for what they go through and what their bodies go through and how they grow the little ones. So I know Michelle will listen to this in probably 6 weeks' time when she catches up on the backlog of them. But yeah, massive shout out to her, and thankfully Archie's in the world and all happy, healthy. Michelle's healthy, so can't complain, mate. It's good times.
You relishing being a dad?
Yeah, I've been doing everything at the moment. Michelle's obviously needs to recover a little bit, so I don't reckon I've rolled towels or folded washing more in my life, but there's a good little routine. I get up, get it done, then it's one less thing that I don't have to worry about, and then I can sit there and speak to Paps's man about Seymour and just have a few bets on a Monday, so you can't complain at all, you know?
Just doing the little things right, just to keep everything happy and everything rolling.
Yeah, you got to.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good for the mentals. Just stand there, fold and washing. Like maybe the race is on in the background. Just it's nice sometimes. But I wouldn't recommend it all the time. But yeah,
I'd love to get Annie on just to confirm if that's ever happened. But let's get to that now, because my mail is that's sort of what we've not witnessed, but is what's happened. There's been a softening up, a real preparation, ticked a few boxes, set the tone. Might have even parked the car at the short-term parking at the airport and rolled in with the flowers and just sort of got it ready for a big week. My mail.
That's absolute ham, but yeah, keep going.
We'll have to go back to my source there. 28, and the next day you drop to the knee. Big life step. What was it like, Tom?
Yeah, it was. If he was away for 6 weeks, and yeah, it was
clarified things.
Yeah, just sort of said, "Oh, geez, she's not too bad. Yeah, I think I might have to." No. But no, it was. It was. I was obviously preparing it while she was away, and I had a few things lined up. But on the day, yeah, I was absolutely shitting myself. Got the ring, and I was like, "Fuck me, am I actually doing this?" And yeah, I'll talk you through it. My plan, it was a beautiful day. It worked out very nicely. Because if it was raining, I'd have no fucking idea what I was going to do. But so it was a nice day, and we take Murph down the dog beach. So it's like went to this like nice little private little dog beach. And we got there, and like where I was like planning to where we sit and usually just put our towels and go for a swim. There's this bloke there in his jocks. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? Like, I'm actually like in his legit jocks, like he's had bonds on,
Not in his bathers, not in his,
No,
not
just
his
in his
budgie
bonds.
smugglers.
He's
Oh,
made like a
Christ.
last. He's made like when he left the house, he wasn't going for a swim, and then he got there. He was like, "It's just too good a day. I've got it."
Yeah. And I don't know if he's lived in the mansions that just are on. It's legit like a private beach. And I'm thinking, fuck, what the hell? And he's like, who cares? Like, we'll just go sit over here. And we got our sushi. We got sushi and takeaway sushi. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll just go over there. My plan was to just like sit down and sort of have lunch and then eventually just drop the knee. But I fucking absolutely melted. As soon as we sort of she barely even put the sushi bags down. I'm on fucking one knee already. Had all this nice stuff had all this nice stuff to say, and I've just fucking butchered it. And then so I did it, and she's just like, oh fuck, and then she was in shock, and I was just like shaking, like, oh fuck. But
Real
yeah,
sweaty?
it was good. Yeah, it's actually funny. On the way there, I was like doing the like these ones. And she's gone, well, are you fucking right? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I don't know, I just got indigestion or something.
You bring it back like PSD for me.
Oh, mate, it is seriously like it shouldn't be, but it just is. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. But I'm not the most romantic man. But
what was it like? Once you said yes, it's just like, oh, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? Kind of hadn't thought past this moment.
Yeah, it was good to get it off the back. I tell you how much. But yeah, it was nice. We sort of FaceTime a few friends that were in Melbourne. It was actually nice going to see all the few of the boys, like Will Hayward and his missus and stuff like that. So like in real life, show them the ring and stuff, and they were just like, "What the fuck?" Like Will was thinking, "Mate, what?" As if you're getting engaged. Like, what the fuck? But no, it was good. It was a good surprise.
Oh god, I remember when Ems and I are engaged, not married, and it was in Italy, and I was like, yeah, I was packing it for. We went over for a wedding, and I turned into Colin for a week. I was crook, and we were on this Italian island, and I hired like a convertible car, and it was manual, and you're driving on the other side of the road, and we're always hungover. And I was trying to find like a spot, and what reminded me from what you said was, I found this spot as I was like clunking around, kangaroo hopping around this island, and this bloke like came just as I was like pumping myself up to finally do it. Like I was petrified.
Yeah.
I still remember it. You're just sweaty, aren't you? You're a sweaty, panic mess.
Yeah, it's not good, but
Love, it'll do shit to you, Tom.
yeah, it's good.
Before we go to the lows, North, the Sunday game, your birthday game, just been engaged, big game player, but you had to sort of get yourself up for the big event that we just covered there. So, you know, I was wondering how much has he got in him? How much go is in this bloke? And you answered that pretty quickly. It was like a big game, and highlight for me was a nasty little knock just after the first goal, just like into his back. The guy wasn't even watching. He might have even been about to take a drink. The North game was big from you.
Hang on. Before we go there, what about then back in flight and War Eternal and getting the quaddie on a Saturday? So he's on engagement, ripping in about 15 units for the early crow plus the quaddie, and then kicking 4-1. What a fucking weekend.
His pony works like it's career best stuff. It's real good.
I think that was the first thing I said when I got in the rooms, because I watched in flight before the game, like just before we went in that one, and I had a multi, and I knew I had like War Eternal going for a bit, and I got around the boys like after the game, the boys, how are we? Did War Eternal win? Who
do you go to? Amon?
Flearoy. Flearoy was, and his old man was in the rooms after. And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, big day.
Oh, that's right. You play footy on Saturday too.
I stuffed that up.
Fuck, grouse. How good. How good.
Yeah,
Back to North. Fuck.
But yeah, it was good. It's a good day. I had obviously all my family up, close mates, and my brother and sister up, and his friends and stuff like that. So it was a great day, and then a good night. Obviously, I went to Clovelly that night and got all family, friends, all the boys there, and partners and things like that. So it was a great weekend.
Let's go to the low. Yesterday, Brisbane off a Perth trip, come out red hot. They were good. but they weren't great, but they were good. And Praddy's phone would have lit up, mine lit up. You dropped like shot there, and it looked pretty scary.
Yeah, it was very scary. It's you think the worst straight away, and that's what I thought. I thought I broke my ankle for a fair while there. Even all last night, I didn't get much sleep. So it was good to get the news today that I'll only miss about 4 to 6 weeks and be ready to go for the first final, which is nice. And I'll be nice and fresh and get all the rest of my body right and be fresh at the final. So it was a big relief off my shoulders. Although it's not everything. We're very lucky to got the job that I've got and play the footy that I get to play and very healthy. But if I had to miss that whole season because of the ankle, it would have been devastating. So I'm very grateful that it's only 4 to 6 weeks and I'll be ready to go for the first final. So unfortunately, I won't be able to play the rest of the home and away season, but I'll be back out there with the boys, first final, ready to go.
So what does the next 4 to 6 weeks look like then?
Yeah, I'll be in crutches and a moon boot probably for the next week or so. For context, of medial ankle or something. It's like a ligament at the back of the ankle. So we escaped bone injury, which is huge. And then I think someone's had it at the club before and they missed sort of 6, and mine's not as bad as that. So I'm hoping to even like a four weeker would be nice, and I'll just be in the moon boot for a week or so. A lot of recovery. I'll be in with Juz, so it's always it'll be me and Juz in there and going to work. So be good energy. Don't worry about that. But we'll be back out there together. First final. Hopefully.
No one doubts the energy.
Poor rehab staff.
Yeah, I'm worried about the diet. No one doubts the energy. What do we do to maintain fitness with an ankle injury?
Yeah, it's the worst part about being injured. You got to do these off legs. They call it cardio, and I'm shocking at it and just hate it. But that's what you got to do. And like bike, probably won't be able to do bike for a bit, but like upper body circuits, like they call them grinders and air dyne bikes. Like it's just crook stuff, but they're the things that you have to do to keep fit, so you're ready to go when you're right.
Pretty.
Yeah, I fucking knew it was bad. Like perhaps when you usually get a knock or an injury or something, you usually just limp away or whatever and just kind of compose yourself and get on with it. Fucking when you were limping away, Dicko, I don't know what you were thinking, but I was like, oh fuck, this one actually may not be good. And I think all three of us prayed.
Me and Dim Sim King, my man, like he can go down, and you think, oh god, is he hurt? But he gets on with it.
Yeah,
he goes
100%.
down, But when you watch the replay and he went down without doing anything, that's when I think they're the ones that are the scariest, like something went pop.
Yeah.
But it's good news, and
fuck off.
Could end up being a really good thing, to be honest.
A little freshen up. Be nice.
Freshen you right up. The units like this, we're going to probably have to do a 2-page slide for Eyes on Ponies on Saturdays moving forward. I mean, the young man sort of got out of control as it is. Now with all this time on his hands. Can only imagine what you and Juz are going to get up to. And will you invest in a PlayStation 5 or whatever, 6, whatever they got these days, and compete with Juz online or what?
Nah, well, actually probably at the club more when you're actually in rehab, because you got all these like other stuff to do, like recovery, ice, and then off legs and things like that. Like crust is you're probably in there about the same time. We've actually got like you might miss out on the other stuff that you do outside of footy. Maybe I don't know if there's clinics or something like that, but you're probably in there about the same amount of time. It's just that you miss sort of, I don't know. It's not as bad anymore, but back in the old days, we used to go down the dungeon in the under the SCG, and it was just like crook stuff. Like no one's in there, very lonely. But now it's all more open, and you're sort of amongst it a bit in the rehab. So it's a lonely place, but I've been fortunate enough not to be in there too much. But I've only got 4 to 6 weeks, so I'll be right.
Statement and a question. The best news out of this for anyone who's me. The post-season golf is going to be one of the biggest wipeouts you've ever seen, because Paps is into like a ridiculously low handicap, which he won't be able to get rid of, and he'll be incredibly rusty.
Yeah, I thought about
Glorious.
that today actually.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Now, the moon boot. Do you own the moon boot? And could we sort of get it signed and give it away as a prize when you're done with it?
No, it's a club one, unfortunately. So I
Could
don't
we
think I'll
nick
be
it?
able to do that. Why?
I think we could nick it.
What do you want to do?
Was this reminded me when I was young, like real young, like I don't know if I was 16 or 20. I probably would have been I would have been over 18. I was working at Dan Murphy's, and they used to make you get the trolleys, and I hated it. And the old Foss, my old man, he had a moon boot. So I used to just strap the moon boot on and go in and just like say I've done my ankle playing footy. So I was thinking like, how grouse would it be if we had a young bloke rolling around Dan Murphy's with a Tom Papley signed moon boot, milking them? I think we should run a competition and get people involved. That's the story I had the other day because I was at Dan's stocking up for the new fridge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And it reminded me.
Have you seen more photos of my kid, Paps, or more photos of Dicko's beer fridge?
mate, Dicko's beer fridge for sure.
We got 2 video updates and 2 fucking photos within 0.5 of a minute, and I was like, bro, it's a thing that plugs in the wall and keeps shit cold. Like, I know you're excited, but fuck me.
And then he didn't he get a new fridge? And then he's like, the next day, yeah, I'm just cleaning my fridge. It's like, mate, you got it yesterday. Fucking hell.
It's been a big week.
Yeah.
It's been a big week for the 3 of us. Yeah.
Oh, like, I'm so happy for Praddy. And I honestly, bottom of my heart, I think you're going to be one of the great all-time fathers.
Thank you, mate.
And when I had my first, I was pounding out the content too, you know.
Yeah.
But now, poor old Teddy, don't know where he is.
I've got a question for you as well.
Getting the very best of care from his mother, but I've got to sort out the shed.
Yeah, fair. Perhaps we've got Coonabarabran, Kembla Grange, and Royal Randwick. Can we get at least a unit bet in all 3 meetings on Saturday?
Yeah, I've got Thursday off, and I won't be playing golf, and I'll be all right. Let's make it a deal. Let's have a bet at Coona. Where was it?
Coonabarabran, Kembla Grange, and Royal Randwick. I'll save you the picnic meeting.
Yeah. All right. Done. I'll make sure there's units everywhere on Saturday. Don't worry.
Oh fuck! There you go, family. You've heard it here first. We'll be having a fill up at 4 tracks on Saturday. Love it.
All right. Collingwood season's over, and Praddy, firstly, how do you feel about that? And then we'll get to what needs to be spoken about, which is the classic case of me from the Pies fans who 12 months ago were filthy that we were booing Stewie Diver, also known as Ginnivan, and now they are not just booing him, they want his name erased from the premiership wall. Firstly, Pie season over.
Done. Yeah, 100%.
How's it feel?
Not overly surprising with the amount of injuries that we've had, and then blokes out of form at the moment as well. It's a shame that we're in a bit of a lull, but these things happen. I think the best thing they can do is probably try and play a few more of these kids and get more games into Reef and Joe Richards, and maybe bring a few more through and keep giving Ned Long a game because he's doing all right. I'm not sure he's a backup ruckman, but we'll keep persisting there. But yeah, keep giving a game to kids. At least we know what we've got and where we're going. Maybe get Jack Bytel on the side. But yeah, we are donezo, 100%.
Paps, your read on Ginnivan, he ripped into him. But he was thrown out by that footy club as far as I understand it. And that would have been like a game he circled on the calendar from probably the minute he found out he's getting kicked out. He's had 31 touches, 11 score involvements, and was best on ground.
Yeah, he's just come back from injury as well, did he? I think I don't think he played the week before. But yeah, he went alright, didn't he? He's definitely one that if you play with him, you'd love him, and play against him, you hate him. But he's full credit to him. I actually enjoy it. Like he's just been himself. Probably he gets carried away a bit with all the celebrations and stuff, but that's him, and you gotta these days you got to promote the characters in the game, and if you keep shooting them down, the game won't have them. So full credit to him. He's a good player. At least he can back it up. He's won a flag with them. It's not like the Collingwood boys could say, "Oh, well, last year," but he's got one. So he really gave it to him, and well done to him. It'll be bloody hard to leave a premiership side and they sort of push you out the door, and then to come out and play like he did and have 30 touches, 2 goals, and win the game for him, as well as all the rest of them. But he's good to watch. He's good for the game. I reckon he's very good for the game, and he's a good little player.
I think he's outstanding for the game, and his stock has gone up so significantly with people who aren't Collingwood or Hawthorn people like me. I'd never really cared, but I love that that would have been his game all year, MCG, and he delivered, and he didn't just deliver, he then got into him, and yeah, he's made himself really, really relevant.
It's an entertainment game, right? Fuck, he's entertaining. Like, you have to, like, even as a Collingwood supporter, you have to sit back and smile and go, you know what, fucking fair enough. You absolutely baked us on the weekend, and good on you.
Mm.
The little wizard's a good player as well.
He's just growing, isn't he, Nick Watson?
Yeah, he's going to be a good little player. They're very, very chirpy, the Hawks boys, but if they keep winning, they can keep doing it. But we'll see how they go and gets later in the year. But good on them. They're having a crack and having fun.
How good do you think they are this year? Like how? It's so tight from sort of 12th upwards now.
It is. They've improved a lot. I think they've got the momentum. Probably them and Brisbane are the informed team in the comp, and it's a good time to be informed. So if they can keep winning, I think if they win every game, they'll make it. It's probably their destiny's in their hands. So I'm not sure what their run home is like, but they were bottom 4 last year, so they probably have a few lesser sides. And then getting there late in the year, if you play sort of teams that can't make the finals, the last 2 or 3 rounds, they might rest a few blokes might have surgery and things like that. So, they've definitely got a good chance. They've got a few injuries as well. I think that Mitch Lewis really hurts me. He's done his ACL again. But yeah, it's good to see a young side improve and make the competition stronger.
I think like this week, the Western Bulldogs have been sort of forgotten about despite going down and killing Geelong on what can only be described as one of the most disgraceful grounds in the AFL. It looked like when you added in Geelong's jersey,
yeah,
it just looked like it was in the 80s.
It looked like it was a suburban footy ground.
Yeah, it would have been great for you and me, Pratty, but no good for the people like Paps who are fit and fast. Like, just slide it right down to our level.
I think they had a curtain raiser beforehand that didn't help the cause.
Oh, wow.
Which
that's not very intelligent, is it?
Yeah, like if that's at the SCG, they're kicking them off straight away, like before the game. So I don't think that helped the cause. And it looked crooked in it, just like it looked like a country football game. But you still got to get the job done there.
Obviously, that stuff's like below you now. You know, you're a fucking superstar. What would the mentality be like when you rolled out? If you rolled out to Kardinia Park on Saturday night and saw that, would you think this is an opportunity for me, or would you think this is disgusting? And then also, give me a guess of what Juzzy's thinking.
Juzzy's going out with a late calf. I'm thinking at the start, fuck this, and then hopefully I start well, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is all right. But if you got someone up your ass in those conditions, it's bloody tough. But I sort of like those conditions. It's not that was proper heavy. That's like heavy 10 stuff. I sort of like a little grease on top. The big boys can drop it a bit, and then I can swoop on it. But that's heavy 10 stuff. I probably wouldn't like it that way, but it's not not be all end all. I'd rather play in that than bloody 30k wins down one way.
Yep. Now, you saw Brisbane firsthand, literally, played against them and then got to watch them for 2.5 quarters, or 2 quarters, next to Ramps. What do you reckon? Can I go first?
Yeah.
I don't think they're as good as everyone's saying. I think they were like fluky in front of goal early. They kicked one out of their sting late. I think that was not near what like you guys are capable of. That was a home game for them. there's some crucial umpiring decisions that went their way that they capitalise on. Like, for the hype to be real, I think they beat you by 5 goals.
Yeah, I disagree. If you don't win 7 games in a row for being average, um, I reckon they're the second best team in it. Um, they're at the Gabba, home crowd. You still got to get the job done. I know we had a few out and things like that, but we're a pretty good side, and they still got the job done. Yeah, home crowd and things like that. But yeah, I reckon they're a pretty good side, and I reckon they'll be definitely there in come the later weeks of the year for sure.
Which of their players are the most scary?
I think we did
In
a
a
good
football
job.
sense, not in a physical sense.
I think we did a good job of stopping Neil, but when he's on, he's very scary. McCluggage was massive all game. It's actually like sitting back and watching the game. You really notice the stars. Like when you're playing, you don't really notice them as much. But McCluggage stood out watching the game. But it was just a very, very good game to watch. Like both teams going hammer and tong. Like if we had won that game, it would have been one of the great wins of the last few years for sure. With a couple out, with Mills, we haven't had all year. McInerney and Robot, and then me and Rance to go down and nearly get the job done against them would have been an unbelievable win. But yeah, they're a good side, and I'm sure we'll probably verse them come late in September.
Nice. Speaking of great contests in Queensland, Wednesday night, State of Origin Game 3. As good a game of rugby league as I've ever seen, as relentless as physicality as I've ever witnessed in rugby league. Bear in mind, all bar the Penrith players, I think, just about backed up and played footy on the weekend, which is fucking amazing. Like Angus Crichton played in Melbourne against the Storm, like crook. Where did you consume your State of Origin Game 3, Thomas, and your thoughts?
I was actually on my own, and Annie was sitting there for the first like 20 minutes, and she's like, "What the fuck are you yelling at? No one's scoring." Like they're just tackling each other. I'm like, "Yeah, these are the biggest hits I've ever fucking seen," and I'm just going, "Oh fuck!" Like, Jesus. And she's like, "Shut up!" She obviously doesn't get it. She's never watched rugby league in her life. So she was back to her room pretty quick. But then I was on the couch watching it by myself, and it was honestly just ridiculous. Like I've never ever seen a rugby league game like it, a State of Origin game like it. If you were trying to get into NRL, that's a game that you need to watch. Geez, it was good. Angus Crichton was unbelievable all series. It was just which damn wall was sort of not damn wall, which defense was going to break. Defense was going to break, and then in the second half, I thought Queensland sort of had him, and then New South Wales went back, and then it sort of. John said it on the commentary. Someone sort of needs to take a risk to sort of break it open. It actually come off a fumble, and then they reacted to that fumble and
Jerome, just with a little left,
Yeah.
then a little right dance, left punch through. His
And
ability to like analyze the play and just do his little like slow mo for 3 steps, just to drag Bradman when he's like enormously fucked up lip just off his left hand hip, threw it in his right shoulder. He somehow gathered it. He said, "Fuck off, Gagai, you fossil! I'm going in." And then his teammate and fullback from the Knights, Ponga. No, mate, no.
That was big.
It was just enormous. Bradman was enormous. If Bradman had have held onto the seed, these 2 previous like line breaks, he's man of the match.
Yeah. Well, then
They couldn't touch him.
Yeah. It was.
How hard did that back flick pass from it was Luai that flicked it to him and it hit him in the chest? It was unbelievable that he was able to gather that when he went and
and
scored.
also like he gathers it whilst he's figuring out where I'm going to palm off
Yeah,
Gagai.
correct. Yeah,
I thought it was. That's exactly what Jerome Luai needed to do, like inject speed into the game. But at that point in time, I thought Mitchell Moses' kicking game was just a thing of like beauty.
they definitely shifted the line, hey, like by kicking it to Lomax so much in the corner. You could see that they were worried about what Moses was going to do And if he was going to put it to that side, which probably got the reason why Luai cut back to that side and then passed off to Best.
Oh, the
was
escort.
after he kicked a couple of balls up to Lomax, and they just put so much pressure on.
Yeah, I don't know where escorts are like in real life, but the escorts in that game, that was like I've never seen more escorting in my life. The way they just stopped Lomax going at the nut. But his kicking game was so good and what you need in Origin, and then his ability to go, righto, this has been one of the greatest nut trucking contests of all time. Everyone is wrecked. Now's my time to take on the line. He's half slow out of marker, and he just takes the line on and puts the game away. I thought he was like enormous, and the only real interesting thing for New South Wales is next year, like Nathan Cleary is the number one halfback in the game, but Mitch Moses has played 3 now Origin games of like the utmost perfection. What do you do?
He can't not play. There's no way. There's no way he can't not play.
But
I don't know what happens.
Cleary lives Luai, whatever, right next to him. That's the only other position he could take is 6, isn't it?
Yeah, look, next year Luai will be playing for the West Tigers too. So they lose that combination claim a little bit. I don't know.
You'd have
When
to
you
have
said
it. Because in that,
It's
like,
Moses'
Origin,
kicking game. Moses' kicking game is better than Cleary's. It's like he's got these deep. He's got a bigger kick on him than like a lot of AFL footballers.
Yeah.
Moses should be like got to be sending a couple of videos to like the fucking Miami Dolphins or something and saying, "Hey, I'm available in like 2 or 3 years." He's got one of the great legs all time.
It's going to be interesting. They're going to they'll go in favourites obviously next year as well. Queensland get Munster back, but
no, we'll go in big favourites.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The State of Origin market always just reacts like how Queensland started favourites in game 2. You're a man. Like if Reece Walsh didn't slip over and just copped a good, honest rugby league shot to the chest, it would have been 3-0.
Yeah.
I thought rugby league was at its best, and that's psychopath Spencer. Spencer Lenny. Oh my god.
He's
takes the ball and straight. You want to tackle me? That's all well and good, but I'm going this way and this way only.
When he just like
fucking unreal.
When he just barged over Harry Grant, and I reckon he almost could have got through him, but he thought, well, if I kind of let you take me down right now, I'm going to have 120 kilos land right on your chest cavity, so I'm going to let you. And bang, like, ooh,
yeah.
He's the scariest player on the field, in my opinion.
Yeah, him and Crichton are just like, you just don't want to meet them out in the dark alley or something.
I just hurl up in the fetal position and just pray to God, Zeus, Allah, Buddha, Bilbo, leave me alone, please. That Star of Origin, it was just, yeah, it lived up to all the hype and a lot more. Anything else we should do, rugby league?
Storm 3 games on top now. Have you
really?
I watched that game.
Yeah, I haven't yet.
There was a young man in the centres, I've forgotten his name, for the Storm who stepped up and really like sort of had a coming of age game. Forgot his name, but he was very, very good. They look so sound. And they don't have Munster, who's the best 5'8" in the comp.
Yeah.
They didn't have Big Nelson. That's so Falama. They didn't have him. Yeah, they look dangerous. But rugby league's about making the playoffs, and then they sort of start again, I reckon.
Yeah. Apologies. 2 game on top. My apologies, not 3.
Golf, guys.
Before we start, the fact that this was on the weekend after my kid was born could just honestly have not been any better timing to watch golf on a links golf course where things can change so rapidly. I think it was the first night I watched 8 or 9 hours in a row. Just had it on my phone. Was scrambling holding the kid in one hand, scrambling for the charger in the other hand to make sure my phone didn't die. I don't reckon there's any better golf than links golf.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Where does this major and the Open in general rate for you guys? There's 4 of them. You've got the Masters, US, the PGA, and the Open. The Open's always on a links course. The Masters always at Augusta. The other two move around.
Yeah.
Which has been your favourite this year, and what's your favourite overall?
I'll go first. The factoring in the time difference and things like that, I actually like watching the Open better, because of the time difference. It's a lot more challenging, although Augusta is, but I actually really liked watching the Open throughout the weekend because of the time difference. But if I was obviously a player, you'd obviously go Augusta then the Open for me anyway. But geez, it's good to watch. It was me and Croc last night sat there till probably about. I was just sitting there praying and not getting much sleep and watching the golf. And we actually had a few 2-ball bets, and we were doing like on the couch like. And when Larry's putting them in, we actually against Scotty, so it was a bit of a
that's a bit. Yeah, I don't know.
Bit
I don't know how I
how you
feel
going,
about
but
that bet. I did see that bet, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. But
it was good fun.
Having a golf tournament, like a good golf tournament, on is not good for me or for anyone when you're having a bit of trouble sleeping, is it? It's just fuck it. I'm not going to sleep anyway. I'll get the iPad out. Foxtel Go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Praddy?
Yeah. I love watching the Open. I love that it just changes so much. I think I love watching golf courses where you can see that it's hard to play, and like Rory put one out on the train tracks going, one of us, and then I think you pissed yourself last night. JT teed off last night and put his first ball onto the beach and knocked out a kid. Like, unbelievable. It didn't, allegedly, it missed a kid by a mile. But
that woke me up. That's what woke me up. I went to Twitter like searching for that shot.
Yeah, it just went. He obviously tried to draw it around, and it just started straight, and then just started fading, and the commentators are like, "That's not even in bounds. Like, you cannot find that."
And and it was over then.
Yeah,
and then he hit it in the
like
bunker,
that.
and then he had to hit out sideways. It was just done. He's straight over it.
Like that poor Aussie amateur day one.
Yeah. Nubsy.
His first tee shot, Nubsy, over the fence.
Yeah.
I think that links is the best because you don't have to hit the ball out of bounds to get completely jammed in the little stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like that's why everyone loves Augusta, because there's holes where you can lose a tournament. So there's pressure points.
Yeah.
But there's other decks where you just hit in the water, drop a shot. Like they don't seem to get punished like they get punished on these links courses. So you're kind of in it the whole time.
Like, what do you reckon we'd score around there?
I reckon off the stick you'd have like, if I shot in the 80s, I would like FaceTime you at like 2 a.m. time and say like, just until you answered, you know, I've just had 89. Like
80.
Mate, you're not having fucking 80.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be like 90 something. If I shot in the 80s, I'd be like so pumped about shooting in the 80s. There's holes where there was a 230 metre carry to get to the fairway.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm saying like...
That's all I've got.
30
100.
over.
Yeah.
There's no way you shoot under 100.
They had to drive one of those par threes. Was it day 3?
Mate,
the last group had to get out the driver to get the ball in the green.
Yeah, but you're forgetting I'm hitting pings. Like, it's hard to miss sometimes if you're just in the zone. Like there's a lot of forgiveness in them.
Like, they're flushing it out of that rough.
Yeah,
we can't even hit it 5 metres out of that rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hitting those bunkers, like you'd have 10 out of the bunker.
Oh, you're just not getting out of them, surely.
It'd be so good to be just completely minted though, and you know, hopefully Tom wins the grand final. The next day we just fly over to Royal Troon, and he's got to play for cash off 9.5.
The day after, really.
Back. The 9 off. It's such a step back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff. That's golf. Shout out to Xander Schauffele. 2 majors in 1 year. He was in and around all of them. Great golfer, steady as they come, and obviously I love him because you know we had 2 majors this round of our early crow golf club, and little Dicko nailed both of them and took his second title. So it's basically Paddy McCartan and myself will have the champions dinner at some point. It'll just be Paddy and I at this stage. Unfortunately, no one else has sort of got themselves there. But it will probably kick off and go again. I'm not sure. We haven't really talked about that today.
No. Been doing a few other things, but I just can't believe 45 minutes and 45 seconds of recording time, and it's taking you this long to blurt that out. But anyway.
Oh, you had a child, mate. You've become a dad, and that's a big thing.
Yeah,
I don't want to overshadow that with my gloating about being a 2-time champion out of 3. In there the whole way. I thought Wilbur's tactics was a bit... I think if he was playing for the Swans, Horse would sit him down, they'd watch a bit of tape and sort of say... Did we handle that as best as we could? I mean, really played the V.
He did, didn't he? I think...
Should have taken the top 3 players off the board.
Yeah. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, though.
Mm. Yeah,
but I
2-time
agree.
champ. I can sort of talk about this stuff. I'm a 2-time champ. So, yeah. Well, congratulations to Far Jack, who's like balls deep in his camp, getting ready to punch on, kick on, and wrestle on in Perth. I spoke to him the other day, and he's like really, really, really working hard. So we're thinking of Far, and he ran second in the golf, and Wilbur run third. So
Yep.
Do we kick off again? Are we going again?
Yeah. Let's discuss. Yeah, but I don't see why we wouldn't.
Righto, Eyes on Ponies. Eyes on Ponies brought to you by CTW Excavations. They go where the big boys won't. It's been 2 weeks now. We haven't done ponies. A big couple of weeks too for Mailbag Bloodstock boys. We had a very nice winner at Sandown midweek last start in Manhattan View. One of the great rides all time. Thomas Stockdale, a real peach, and very, very grateful for it. And he backed it up today.
Oh.
Was he on again today?
Yeah, he did such a good job. He said, you can go again on another horse. And he rode I Say No, No, No at Seymour. And Pratty was like off his head watching this thing get the job done. I don't know how much he had on Pratty. Michelle, if you're listening, you might want to have a little check of that. But I thought he overreacted. The horse was always going to win, I thought. But they'd both broken their maidens, 3-year-old fillies, about to turn 4, job done. Shine New Deal kicked off and went enormous, I thought, versus the race on Saturday at Flemington in race 5. And the nutless Get a Fix. Did it savage the line Sheen style or what?
Yeah, it's good. Fastest last 600 of the race.
Yep.
Fastest last 4 to 2. Punctured a little bit late. The last 200, but just that sort of fitness and playing around a bit. But the Yulong thing that come third really hit the line well that last 200. I'm sure we'll probably come up against that next start. So I hope it might be a little bit of gear change for Get a Fix, and happy with the run though.
What are we thinking? Blinkers on?
Yeah, blinkers or winkers. Sort of that mid race sort of got about length or two off him, and he sort of, Kieran was saying, sort of got his mind off the job and sort of, lost a length or two. So that cost him a little bit, but yeah, it was a good run. There are some sharp horses in that, I reckon, and I'm sure a few will come out and win, that's for sure.
Let's hope Get a Fix is one. Karen Sticks, hopefully, our man.
Yeah.
What's the over-under, Dicko, on Paps texting Kieran after the race? I'm going to say it was within 15 minutes of the horse crossing the line. I'm going under 15 minutes before he flicked a message.
Well, that must have been in between you and him on the Crow WhatsApp. I was driving my mum to the races on the way to the airport, and she's like genuinely concerned about you both. It just says Tom Crow. Pratty Crow, Tom Crow, just on the TV of the car the whole way in. You're very, very sick, you two.
Yeah, well, the Wi-Fi was about to go on the plane, you got to help a brother out.
Yeah, exactly. Kieran actually just went to Rosehill for that one ride.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I love him.
Then he went on to a little boys' weekend or something over in Adelaide, so he's a good man, Kieran.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cheeky stuff.
And now we need to rewind on I Say No, No, No today at Seymour, Paps. I actually called Frankston Hospital and said, do you have any spare O2 tanks? Because old mate got a reasonable chunk of I Say No 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 and was going absolutely off his nana. So my kid was crying last night and had a real red face. And I've not heard or seen anything like what Dicko displayed today watching this thing punch it across the line at Seymour. He was so loud, Paps, that in his microphone you physically couldn't hear what he was saying. He was going off, going, "Big tough! Big tough! Don't dog it! Yes!" And there is no way that if Teddy or Lenny or even Das was deciding to have a nap, maybe Emma was tired and she's trying to have a nap, I reckon the whole suburb, every kid would have woken up crying because those picture frames behind him were rattling, proper rattling. It was a big emotional win, and had a little wager, but that's why he might be a little bit tired now.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
Dicko, going back 2 weeks ago, what did you see of recommendation off one trial flicking around at Caulfield? Was that impressive or what?
Oh, the number was fat. It's off its head. Exciting horse. One trial. Credited his data team, so they sort of said like, hey, the numbers are saying this horse is fit enough to rock and roll, and they trusted it. They went to the races, and it really did kick their heads in like a big margin. It runs around as accepted, I think, for Saturday. So it'll go around probably in the Bletchingley Stakes over 1,200 metres at Caulfield on Saturday. It'll start probably $2 or shorter and be hard to beat off that run. It was dynamite. Like, big missed opportunity from us betting wise. We overthought that one badly, didn't we? I mean, I think I marked it 280 or 290, and it was 270 in the morning, and it jumped $4, and I let it go without us. So that was a significant regret for me that Saturday night. But very nice horse. I thought from Saturday's races, that first settler was enormous, winning. It faced the breeze the whole way down the straight, which was really, really hard to do on Saturday. It did it and it won. I thought Red Aces, the Dundee Colt for Nick Ryan in race 1, was coughing, so I think it had a fair bit of wind to deal with. And then when it got the inside, even more wind. There were two of the more progressive, nice horses that will come out of that Flemington meeting on Saturday. Both really nice horses. Outside of that, it was a very, very tactical day at Flemington. You need to be really careful of over-analysing or over-trusting horses that ran well, because they could have been really, really smothered from the wind and sort of produced at the right time to look like they went enormous.
Yep. Perhaps at Rosehill on the weekend, what did you make of In Flight?
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing, mate. Got to the outside lead. Not many horses actually led there on Rosehill. It was sort of nice to get some cover because a bit similar to Flemington. The wind was down in their face coming to the straight, but it was disappointing. It was 225. I think it might have got out to 240. It was slightly run race. Had the race shape to win and was no good. I don't know if it's sort of come to the end of the prep maybe, but it was disappointing unfortunately. But we move on, and Jetta Bill was a very nice winner. Very nice win. One to sort of follow out of the meeting. It's not going to win. Not going to win a nice race, but follow it next start is Super Norwest. It's actually in the Tab Highway. It was very, very not suited against the race shape and into the breeze. So I think you can follow that next start. It will jump on speed and might be able to get a slower tempo and kick away. So it was very not suited last start.
Any from Flemington that they should follow, Dicko?
Shining Your Deal. Our horse going enormous. Just like Gabby out of race 3, a relation to a really, really good mare, filly. I think it's a daughter. Went good. And Captain Electric.
Valhalla was a good run, Dicko. Unsuited. Probably run at the race, to be honest.
Probably run again in 2 weeks in Sydney. Probably keep Nash on. And I think she was very, very good in a race. She couldn't sort of win the way the race was run.
Yeah, top 5, sort of top 7, last 6, 4, and 2 and 1 in the meeting. Best run of the race. So I think if it can map a bit better, land a bit closer, be a good chance next start.
Righto, boys. Trivia time. Short and sharp this week, but making up as I roll, so be nice to me. First question. South Park. Name the 4 main characters.
Praddy. Kyle, Stan, Cartman, and Kenny.
Correct. Praddy, 1.
I would have not got that. I did watch South Park.
Oh, well,
Excuse me?
It's like 27 seasons, so
Yeah.
you know what you're going to be able to do, you and Juzzy in your rehab.
Probably wouldn't watch it at work, just as a call out.
I used to watch it with my dad. What a father. Shout out to you, Simo, wherever you are. What is Ace Ventura's profession in his
Praddy.
movies? Praddy.
Pet detective.
Praddy.
Mate, like, this
Have you-
movie bullshit, fuck it off.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you seen Ace Ventura?
Whoa. Have you not seen Ace Ventura either?
Yeah, I have, but, like, I don't do movies much.
Fair enough.
Well, that's half my questions.
Well, I'm no chance.
Well, it could be a landslide then.
It's a racing and sport podcast, not a fucking movie podcast.
I know it's getting clipped up this week. Love it.
Right, we'll start trivia again then.
What?
No,
You're fucking kidding.
keep going.
Oh, well, no, look, Tom's throwing the toys out of the cot. Well, like, we want him to have a fucking positive attitude at the start of trivia. You can have a shit one by the end of it when he gets beat, but he's had a shit one at the start. We want, like,
How is
a
that
good...
my fault?
It's not your fault. It's kind of your fault that you're a bit too intelligent and well-rounded.
Just,
I reckon I'll also clip that one up. Thank you.
Trivia was hampered by one runner having a really bad attitude and a lack of sort of real one-dimensional stuff. So I had to go back to the drawing board. What we're going to do for trivia this week, it's 3 questions. It's best of 3.
Right, let's do it.
Just for context,
Now,
we're a sport podcast, racing and sport.
Yeah, but we think outside the box. We're trying to educate as well as along the way. Now,
Right.
So am I 2-0 up or what?
speaking of racing and sport, this question, you go 1 for 1.
Yep.
And you get to get the answer wrong, you can have a few guesses.
Cool.
We'll start with Tom, because it's like a handicap start. And, yeah.
Yep.
Name a person who spoke at the Trump rally as he was announced as the Republican nominee for president. So a number of people spoke at the thing. It's all over Twitter. Tom.
Fucking Joe Biden.
Fucking hell. It's so good. He says the king of the score involvement, and he just asked about something AFL because Jesus Christ, wrong.
Hulk Hogan.
Correct.
Oh,
Brady
yeah,
won.
I've seen that. Yeah, far.
Yeah. This is first in best dressed. If Praddy gets this, he wins. What brand golf ball does Tiger Woods use?
Tom.
Praddy.
Tom.
TaylorMade.
Wrong.
Titleist.
Wrong. Bridgestone. Disgrace, both of you.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He would have used a few of them on the weekend.
Sure.
What is a witch's kiss?
Kiss on the lips.
Wrong.
Is it like... Oh. It's like being cursed. It's like being cursed.
No. It's when a tradesman's scrotum, genital, touches the portaloo when they're sitting.
Oh, fucking hell.
So best of 3. So is that 1-0?
It's 1-0. Praddy wins trivia.
Beautiful. I also won
I
the
thought
first
you would've got
trivia.
a
Is that,
witch's
is
kiss,
that two
Tom.
trivia wins in one night or what?
That's it for episode 42 of the Early Crow. Have a phenomenal week. We'll be across all your socials over the weekend. We'll probably have the golf back. I think the 3M's on, and then we head to the Olympics. We'll have NRL, who I went 3-0 in the week, by the way. Level now with Tom. I think I'm ahead of Royce or P Rat.
Just.
We'll have Eyes on Ponies, which I'm telling you could need to be 2 slides. We might need to make some adjustments on Saturday, but make sure you hang around and you find out. Hope you have a phenomenal week. Bye for now.